Hi guys, ShatteredCiv here. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm, as promised, going to play Stories, The Path of Destinies. It's very similar to Curse of the Dark Gods, but on the total opposite end of the scale when it comes to storytelling. This game is absolutely chock full of nuts. It is a roguelite, and it's fun. It's actually, I would dare to say, it's up there in my terms of good games. Alright, we're going to play one new game right from the start. Now, the way this game works, you start off doing a playthrough. You've got 4 chapters. Each chapter tells a different story, and there's multiple combinations to the stories, and each time you play them, even if it's just a subtle difference in choice, it does create a new ending. Alright, so that's all the spoiler I'm going to tell you guys for now. I'm going to let you guys kind of discover things on your own. I do have to give you a little bit of forewarning here. I may have to run off very quickly, but by then we'll be already deeply embroiled into the game. Here it goes, guys. This is very much Curse of the Dark Gods inspired, or could have been. That game was inspired by this one, but this is definitely one of the first roguelite games that I've ever played, and really enjoyed, and I hope you guys do too.
Once upon a time, the infamous rover Reynardo plundered the floating isles. Then his mother called him to her deathbed. "Swear to me that you won't die on the gallows," she rasped. Reluctantly, he swore. And he whiled away his days at home with music, cards, and wine. But the Emperor had changed. He'd been good once, a shy, almost humble toad. He'd built universities. Then people started whispering about mass graves in the woods, midnight rituals, victims screaming. The Imperial Ravens would round up entire villages, and no one ever returned. The Ravens had come to Ubar scouting for ancient books said to be of great power. But the librarians had hidden the books, so they'd burnt the librarians. The citizens, outraged, had driven them off. The Ravens had come back with dropships. The kid had fled with one of those books. He was brave and dumb and wanted to join the rebellion. And Reynardo had promised his mother he'd protect him. The kid was looking down, watching his city burn. "Sorry, kid," Reynardo told the kid. "Look, if we give them the book, they'll leave you alone." "My mother died for this book!" "I promised her I'd protect you." "Oh, damn it." The kid had run off. With the book, of course. So Reynardo had to run after him.
Alright guys, again in the vein of Curse of the Dark Gods, it is combat driven, isometric, very pretty to look at. I love the effects, I love the sound,
The two
I love
Ravens
the
were
music.
staring at the kid like he was their dinner, which probably was what was in their tiny brains. "Hey," Reynardo said. They cocked their heads at him. "Pick on someone as ugly as you." Wait, that didn't come out right. "For the Emperor!" The Ravens cawed and rushed at him.
Alright, I'm going to be fast here.
Flew overhead. He hoped they hadn't noticed him. The kid.
One of the best moves on the in the game. Nice.
Oh, right. The Gate of Heroes. Someone's idea of a joke, making the skyship docks a gated community. You needed a hero's sword to open it. And the kid was on the other side of the gate.
This game is so funny.
Who let you through? Promise me you'll take the book to the rebels. Or I'm gonna steal your ship. I'm not taking that damn book anywhere. And neither are you. Try and stop me, laughed the kid. I bet you don't even have a hero sword. And with that, the kid hopped away. Had to hand it to the kid. He was an idiot, but he had guts. Okay, where was Renato going to get a hero sword?
Yeah, right here.
Ore and wind essence? That sounds about right. I'll need a workshop, though.
So now, of course, everything that I collect here on this playthrough carries across to the next, so on and so forth. I'm going to play a couple playthroughs here. You guys are going to get a good gist of how the story works.
Perfect. A hero sword. QED.
Okay, that's going to let us get through.
This is what he got for settling down and finding people to care about. The kid's mum had been a swell cook, and she'd laughed at Renato's jokes, even when he didn't know he'd made one. And the ravens had come to burn her. And she'd made him promise to protect the kid. But she never told him where the book was. Just the kid.
This game's awesome.
He came up to a ledge. It was too far to jump. There'd been a bridge here before, hadn't there? And there was Peter, giggling at him. How'd you get across?
Peter Rabbit?
The kid. Where'd you find a hook? I hopped, said the kid.
Hopped?
Wise-ass kid. Hey, look out behind you. Cute, said Renato. Ah, ravens. It was time to talk some sense into the kid. Just hook his way across the ledge and chase the kid down. Thing was, he hadn't used his hook since he'd retired. How had he done it? Maybe if he meditated at that altar there, he'd remember his old skills. It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember. And there was the Farfarer. She was the fastest ship he'd ever known. She could do the Kestra run in 12 furlongs. Oh, so the salesman told him.
Furlongs.
And something told him the kid was about to walk into an ambush. Stop! He shouted. I'm not giving you the book! Shouted the kid, and took off. No! Peter! But the kid ran for it, and a goggler nailed him with its ivy.
Now, I gotta laugh, guys, because furlong is distance. It could do like a certain run in 12 furlongs. That's the same thing that they did in like in Star Wars, man, where they said you can do the Kessel run in like what was it, 9 parsecs. Parsecs is also a measurement of distance, not time. So the furlong joke is absolutely fucking off the hook. It's awesome. Peter. Meat.
The book was unburned. Next to it were the buckles from the kid's shoes. And a kid-sized pile of ashes. Damn it. Why hadn't he lied and told the kid he'd take the book to the rebels? The kid would be alive now. Really pissed off and betrayed, but alive. Oh, damn it. Renato picked up the book. He
Peter!
couldn't let the Empire have it now. He was going to have to get it out of there. He'd be a wanted man. Probably have to join the rebellion just to have a place to dock. Well, he'd hated home life anyway.
Okay, looks good. Catch you later, Peter. Alright, so you guys can kind of see the similarities. It's a great game, though.
What's the big deal
story
about
is
this book, anyway?
awesome.
Maybe he should open it and find out. All that had been years ago. How many? The war was a blur, and now 3 Raven scout ships were chasing him. "Where are you running, rebel?" cawed the Raven captain over the loud hailer. Renato could see them cranking up their catapults. "Just going out for milk?" Renato yelled back. "Where can you run?" laughed the Raven horribly. Far behind him, another city was burning. The dark cloud above its island was thousands of Imperial ships. The fleet was doing a thorough job. "Take us to the rebel base, and we'll spare your life!" it cawed. The entire jury-rigged rebel fleet was only a few islands to the east. Beyond that were only the pillars of heaven, a sea of endless blood-colored tornadoes. The rebellion was out of time, unless Renato could bring a game-changer. Maybe he could. Renato had found out where he could find the pieces of the Sky Ripper, the legendary weapon that had exiled the lost gods. Surely a legendary weapon could win the final battle. On the other hand, his old friend Lapino had sent Renato a desperate message saying he had a brilliant scheme to save the rebellion. If Renato could only rescue him. Renato dived the Farfarer towards the abyss. As he felt the heat of the jet stream, the Raven ships peeled off, not stable enough to follow him down there. Now it was time to choose. Lapino or the Sky Ripper.
Alright guys, now we're into the main game proper. This is basically how every time you start up a run, this is what you're going to see. Anything with an exclamation mark is something that you have not explored before in your paths of destiny. Okay, so, of course, man, I'm not going to leave a friend fucking hanging.
Ah, Lapino. Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble, given time. But he was out of time. The Ravens had figured out that Lapino was a rebel spy. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse.
Okay, into the game we go. Welcome, viewer.
Lapino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen the winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the Ravens?
All right, we're going to get into the main adventure here. This is the main grind loop that you're going to be playing. But every time, guys, is different unless you don't want it to be. Can't build anything there at the moment. I am not high enough level and or I don't have enough materials. This game is beautiful to look at and listen to. Story is incredible
Renato
and
wondered
funny.
if it wasn't cheaper to build bridges and stairs. The Ravens had taken the town. Renato had seen villages emptied like this. All the people taken away to be sacrificed in the Emperor's secret rituals. Renato hoped the people were just hiding. Renato's blood was up. He just needed to smash something.
Okay, you know what? I really don't have to hunt for anything right now. Now, where do we want to go? There is definitely different ways you can go, such as finding altars, which we can't use at the moment. We can go through that hero door. Definitely we want to collect more of these. That will get us through the tutorial. You'll notice that I'm skipping through the tutorial, guys. I'm not really going to explain anything much to you guys. It's pretty much self-explanatory. You know, it's your typical roguelike game, and it is fun as fuck, too. And it's so pretty to look at. And the fighting is spectacular.
Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Where had the mad rabbit got to?
Okay, not doing too bad for health here. And you'll notice that every time you are in battle, you'll get a status report. Super great for you completionists out there. You know, how well did you evade, parry, attack, use different combinations, and all that stuff will matter in the amount of XP that you get. So that's a good thing. Keep an eye out for all the chests and stuff. Right now I'm collecting stuff. I'm more hoping for ore rather than anything else. And you'll always get ore out of the boxes here. And
With
that's going to
all
allow
this
us to upgrade.
ore, Renato could forge a really great sword. He was a master forger. That probably wasn't the right word.
Like a masturbator. Let's upgrade. We're going to go for the dash.
It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
All right, that is a loop. I do not have to go that way anymore. We're going to go back down into the beautiful fields and look at all the shit floating around. It's just a great little world to explore. I'm not really...
Shall we just agree to disagree? Said Renato. No?
I'm not a big fan of the anthropomorphism. Yeah, there we go. But the style is so nice looking, and it's great. It's definitely something nice to look at here. We are doing a good fucking combo here. Kill XP, max combos. That's not bad. Big XP there. I mean, you want to max it out. As soon as you get really good at this game, you can fucking dominate it, right? Wow. It's got dark all of a sudden. Anything in here that I can kind of explore? It is a one-way trip, my friends.
Renato felt a chill run down his back. Or possibly a flea.
There's a door off to the left there, eh? Big purple one. All right, no skill points. Interesting. 10 health, I'll take it. Oh, look at the loot behind there, eh? A big chest. All right, again, a reason why to keep coming back and exploring old levels, guys. It's an incredible game.
Renato felt ready to take on new powers.
Excellent. Give them to me. I just need an altar. Was there an altar back here? I'm going to go for, I think, the time slowdown here. So when I'm countering an attack at the last second, it will freeze time for everyone but Ronaldo.
He'd missed his old skills. He welcomed them back like he was at a reunion.
Nice. I love how they introduce the skills, everything. The story is just incredible. It is so well done.
Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, see, this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, oh, his only daughter. That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power. To make the Sky Ripper, the Transcendent Emperor had wrapped an armature around the eye of a god. Bernardo had already let that armature slip away to save Lapino's life. But even its core, the eye torn from a god, surely they could fashion a great weapon from that. The core of the Sky Ripper? Lapino's excited. That's an actual thing that we could just go and get. You've been busy.
He sure had. Renato told him all the things he'd been up to. Soon they got to talking about old times, about wages they'd won and lost, and scrapes they'd barely got out of. It was good to be back with his friend.
Renato grinned. He had a very good feeling about this.
Yeah, very much
It's
like
beautiful
Curse
here,
of the Dead Gods.
thought Renato. He was thrilled to be back with his old war buddy. He'd missed the mad rabbit, but something was not quite right.
Lots of Star Wars references. It's so kitschy. It's beautiful, and it looks great. All right, off the Wayfarer, was it? Fair or something? Now, you want to explore everywhere. You want to find like all these little chests. Now, I do get a little bit of slowdown here on the PS4. But, yeah, exploration is very much rewarded here in this game. And with different swords, it allows you to get through different doors, which allows you to have different runs every time you play. Even if you're going back and kind of telling the same story, which I will kind of show you guys what I'm talking about.
Who needed bridges anyway?
A little bit later. Shit, I can't get back now, can I? Fuck. I wanted to check what was over the other way first, but that's okay. We got a chest here. Welcome, Half-Ass, by the way. Yeah, it's one of my favorite games, actually. I keep always thinking about this game. I'm meaning to finish it. Oh, I see what happened. All right. Teleportorama. Oh, very nice. Give me that sweet, sweet ore.
I wonder what I could make with all these sword crafting materials, thought Renato.
I wonder. We're going to find out, though, real soon. And you get a whole bunch of weapons, and it's a great little combat system. And the story, just wait till we play just the one playthrough. I'm going to do 2 playthroughs just so you can get an idea of how the game plays out. But it is great, especially the 4th chapter. Where everything comes together, and it's really a very heroic tale. Thank you very much. Now, unfortunately, there was only one save slot, and I did overwrite
There
a
was
very extensive
something
existence.
sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
Well, like I had told Dead Wolf there, half-ass. You know, our indie games are what we used to play in our past. I mean, we never, you know, there wasn't big publishers and big developers at the time. There was always these little studios that when they were bought out, they said, fuck off. You know, we're going to do our own thing, like Looking Glass Studios.
Oh, what does the fox say? Asked
Rare.
Glenavon. Another one called back, "Go, go, dying!" And they both laughed hysterically.
Not bad. I mean, at least
Wrong. All over. He could feel an almost palpable sickness in the air. And if the land could have tumors, they would look like these monstrous crystals. The forest was quieter than it had been. There were insects, but few birds, if you didn't count the ravens. Renato smelled sick animals and dying ones, but no healthy ones. And getting a bad feeling about this, Renato thought. Maybe Lupino was right. Maybe they should have kidnapped Zenobia instead of coming here.
Now, before I kill you guys, Renato said, do any of you know where I can get a good smoothie around here?
Nice. Executed with impunity. That was a good good little round. Down to 60 health. Now, this is not as unforgiving as most roguelites. If I die, it just kind of goes back to the last save point, the chapter. So, no worries, guys. You can sit there and play a story in about, I don't know, 20 minutes.
As he held the radiant icosahedron, Renato felt queasy, like dozens of tiny worms were nibbling his insides. It wasn't healthy to be so close to the eye of a god. How could he use it? He could take it to the observatory. The scientists there could tell him how to harness its ancient power. But honestly, Renato ached to get away from it. He brought the core back with him to the Farfarer. But honestly, Renato ached to be rid of it.
Tell you what, said Lupino. I'll take it to the observatory. You attack the Imperial outpost.
The Imperial outpost was a vital communications node. Taking it could shatter the Empire's ability to coordinate. And it would be full of secret plans and maps and maybe even rebel prisoners. It was a good target for a hero like Renato. But what if Lupino got the core and then broke it, or lost it, or worse? Was Renato ready to take that risk? Maybe it was better if he brought the core to the scientists himself.
All right, well, we're going to do the right thing. Lupino's going to bring the scientists the core, and I'm going to assault
Trust
the
me,
Imperial
Renato,
outpost.
you won't regret this. I'll treat the core like it was my own baby daughter.
As the Farfarer dived towards the Nexus, Lupino was jumping up and down with excitement. "Stop rabbiting around," Renato said. Lupino just stared at him. The moment the ship landed, Lupino leapt off the ship.
That's not fucking sus. What? wait a second. All right, Imperial outpost. Let's take her down.
As Lupino vanished into the wilds of the Nexus, Renato vaguely remembered Lupino had a baby daughter, didn't he? And he told her mother he was going out to get some Easter eggs, and he'd never come back. But Renato was relieved not to carry the core anymore.
Oh
He was
no.
already feeling better. And who knows, maybe this time Lupino would get it right. And if Renato could take the outpost, he'd have access to all the Empire's communications in the sector. Right? Boom!
That's good. You leave it to your incompetent friend. Do we need any more help? We sure do. And you'll notice a little bit of slowdown coming up here. I did play this just previous to streaming, just so I kind of remembered all the different controls and stuff. But the gameplay is indelibly imprinted upon my memory, man. It is good. It is so good. Definitely recommended by me.
Hero Wall. Hero Sword. Ice Wall. Ice Cube.
Again, rewarding multiple playthroughs. And the music, man. Music, voice acting, the story, the comedy is just fucking through the roof. Now, it loses its edge as the more you play it up.
What were these poles exactly? Parking meters from the time of the lost gods?
That was a close one. No! Ah, damn it. Didn't want to do that. Damn, I didn't want to go up. There's no other way back, is there? Nope. Uh-oh. This might be a
Renato caught his breath. His joints still hurt, but he couldn't feel the poison in his system anymore. He'd let the armature slip out of his hands to save his friend Lupino. Of course he had to let Lupino take the core. The rebellion needed every man doing his duty. And the rabbit would be no good taking on an Imperial outpost, right?
Now, sadly, I am actually attacking the outpost with 20 health right now. Well, that's true, though, half-assed, but, you know, that's not the way I used to play games in the past.
A crafting bench. Renato wondered what he could make with it.
Alright, so now I am able to hold down R2 and regenerate health, which is super handy. There we go. Hey, look at that big treasure chest. I want that. Who doesn't want that? Now, how do we get over there?
Renato took the outpost with a song in his heart. Soon, he was stuffing his sack with key messages from and to the fleet. One message caught his attention. A high priority order has been given by the Emperor himself to locate something called the Iblis Stone. It was somewhere on a desert island. Renato had a bad feeling about this. Iblis was the name of one of the lost gods. If the Emperor was diverting ravens to search for it, maybe he should try to find it first. Then the Farspeaker Toad chortled a new message. The observatory had been sacked by ravens. Lapino and all the scientists had been taken to the mountains. Why? Why had he trusted Lapino again? And now the Empire had the core. Renato hailed the rebel base to warn them. But their Farspeaker didn't crouch back. Was the base under attack too?
Alright guys, I'm going to grab a quick drink here. But I'll be back. You guys can check out the two decisions here. On the second playthrough, I will allow you guys to kind of decide what you'd like to do. On this playthrough, however, I am going to attack the rebel base, or the save the rebel base. The friends got themselves into that position. Can't really help them, but you know, the many overweigh the costs of the few, I think. All right, I'll be right back in about 2 and 2, guys.
Lapino would have to wait. The core would have to wait. Renato had a very bad feeling that something was going terribly wrong at the rebel base. Its location was secret, but secrets can be discovered.
Yeah, you haven't seen nothing yet when it comes to story. This is incredibly complex and very well thought out.
There were Imperials everywhere in the ruins, and dead civilians. The Ravens were killing everything in sight. Renato was relieved to see no rebels among the dead. Maybe the secret base was still secret, but there were huge burn marks on buildings. What monstrous weapon was the Empire using here? The core had great power. Had they harnessed it somehow, even though they didn't have the armature?
Okay, very nice. Check those levels out, guys. Incredible. Thank you very much.
Renato, smash!
We're gonna go for the combo here. There we go. We've got all our kind of our base stats here, And this is kind of how you're going to be playing the game from here on out. So all your different moves, it's great, right? I mean, so complex yet so easzy. And of course, we want to smash everything that we come across.
It was good to practice your moves, thought Renato. Keeps you limber.
Very contextual. I want those though. Give me those. Can I snag them? No, shit. Look at this level design, guys. Wow.
Ooh, sparkly, thought Renato.
No, for sure. All right. Can't really do anything at these workstations.
Hoped his hook didn't break.
I even like the filter in the background. It almost looks like your TV's dirty, but it works really well in this game. Everything feels like you're part of a story. It really does. It's immersive and impressive. Sounds great on headphones. I just noticed my energy go up a bit. Now, does it rise on its own naturally? I'm going to sit here. Oh, it does too. Okay. Oh, that is nice. Now it looks like we can build something here. Upgrade to a sword? Yes, please. Now, unlike my first playthrough, I have not been able to create the firestorm. We are definitely going to
This
upgrade
burning
that.
sword from the south was terrific for barbecuing sausages and ravens.
Good. All right, so now we're able to switch between swords. Super cool. Just with your D-pad left and right. So whatever you want to cycle through, healing or, you know, offensive. Offensive all the way, guys. That is ShatteredCiv for you. All right, let's go. Oh, I see. Now I should have a speed up combo here. Nice back attack. That should have been a perfect hit. Combat
You could
report.
smell charred
Perfect.
flesh and hear screams. The ruins were on fire. But the ravens had rigged up the core as some kind of burning ray. They wouldn't need to know the secret location. They were burning everything. It was killing them too. Their black feathers littered the path. He would have to take the core from them. It was the last thing he wanted to do. Huh? A lever? That was new. Most people still use doorknobs.
I love it. Big chunks of meat. It's pretty gross, actually. Now, we saw what they did to Peter Rabbit. Oh, oh, oh. And speaking of, I better maybe...
Sharp? Check. Pointy? Check. Flexible? Check. What else do you need in a sword?
What are these, the gobbers? Is that what they call them? Cool looking creatures. Alright, wow, they hurt. I wonder Peter Rabbit got vaporized. Like the music, man. Awesome. Off we go. See you later.
The rebel base seemed quiet. That was good. Also, it seemed to be burning. That wasn't so good. Ice walls only let you through if they knew you were cool.
I should have let that guy get his attack off. I would have blown up on those guys too. Shit. Oh, shit.
Don't go away.
Imperfect, but still perfect enough for me, man. Uh-oh. Here's the core. Do we have the core again?
As the last raven fell, Renato felt worse than he ever had. The core was killing him, again. The council members cautiously came out into the smoke. "You saved us," croaked the speaker. They would put the weaponized core deep in a cavern, she promised, where its poison could harm no one. They would heal him if they could, she said. No, it's a weapon now. We need one. I'll lead the charge. "It will kill you," croaked the speaker. "I guess it already has," Renato said. She bobbed her head gravely. "When all this is over," she said, "we'll name our new capital city for you." He flew towards the Imperial fleet, a myriad ships in disciplined formation, waiting for the signal to destroy the rebellion forever. Behind him, the rebels were charging. If he failed, they would die. And so the final battle began.
This is awesome. All right, guys, this is it. This is my my path of destiny. This run.
Everything hurt. It was unpleasant to fight this way. With each blow he struck with his sword, he felt weaker. Yet each time the core fired, it got brighter. As if the heat from the burning ravens and buildings only fed its hunger. He wondered where Lupino was. Wasn't he supposed to be in the battle? No. He'd been captured, hadn't he? Oh, Renato's mind was smoky now, like the burning fleet. He hoped this wouldn't take long.
All right, I cannot spend any points there. You'll notice my hit points are also at 30 because I've got the core trailing along behind me, and it's basically just...
The portal was heavily guarded. It must go so...
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, it's sucking all my life force from me, right? I mean, you don't want to be around the eye of a god. It's probably like a radiation source. The only thing I need here is ore.
He'd found a Superman issue #1 in mint condition in a jar he'd broken. He planned to keep breaking things until he had the whole series.
Ah, that's awesome. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. They make allusions to like Marvel and DC comics. Fucking awesome. Wow. Get out of there!
That hurt.
All right, we got ourselves a level up. very much. This level is incredible. The amount of detail and shit going on is just like fucking fucked up.
It was a bit windy up here.
Okay, need a little bit more energy.
Reynardo-opolis.
Ah, fuck.
Vulpus Major. Lando Nardo.
Lando Nardo.
If they were going to name a capital city after him, well, he just wished he had a better name. Where was Lupino? He missed Lupino's bitter outbursts. Or did he? Lupino had gotten him into this mess, hadn't he? The core was a wonderful weapon. It swept fire across the fleet. Ravens exploded in its gaze, and with every heartbeat, it grew brighter. He would die. But he would die every inch a hero. Spectacularly, changing history, like the legendary heroes of lore. Or was it yore? He couldn't remember anymore.
See how he's feeding? It's fucking awesome. This game is so good. That was awesome! What? I don't know how I even died there. I don't know how I died there. It was such an easy little battle, and I just got smoked. Nice little platforming adventure. It reminds me so much of like
People
Mario
who built
Brothers.
These poles had really
Awesome.
long tentacles.
Look at the size of this ship. Fucking cool. Like this ship over here I'm talking about. You think you're on big ships now? Okay, another level. I'm liking it.
Reynardo fell to his knees. The Emperor's bodyguards were lined up before his ship. Fierce ravens, all. And Zenobia. She was conjuring. He could not take another step. All he could do was fire the core. The ravens, Zenobia, the ship, all burst into flames, disintegrated, and blew away. So they had one, after all. The core grew brighter. He shielded his eyes, but he could still see it through his sleeves and through the flesh of his arm. And then he felt heat, as the fire grew to consume both fleets. And then he felt nothing. Okay, that was weird. He could have sworn he just died. Instead, he was on the Farfarer, sailing away from Ubar. And it was still burning.
He'd fled burning Ubar years ago, hadn't he? And now he was back there. Had all those years fighting the Empire been nothing but a vision into the future? A useful vision if it was true. He'd learned something. The core was powerful, but dangerous if used improperly.
All right, so now this is the core game, Matt, where you're going to kind of figure out your path of destiny. So what we're going to do here, we know one truth: the Skyripper core is unstable. So we know that as a possible truth. There's 3 other ones that we have to discover, and from there it will unlock probably the end game, right? So you can also go back to here, and if you read this, guys, choices made, and the summary is just spot on, right? I'm going to read that out. The Skyripper was a legendary weapon that could banish the gods themselves. It was split in 2 pieces, a core and its armature. Ronaldo had lost armature to save his friend Lupino, but he had the core, a naked core, pulsating with energy, waiting to be turned into a weapon. Ronaldo was driven by practical decision. When Lupino begged to carry the core, he agreed to make best use of his friend. And when Lupino was captured, he left the rabbit to his fate, so he would save the rebel base. And when he recovered the core from the Imperials, which they turned into a deadly weapon, he seized the opportunity to lead an assault on the enemy. But the Imperials' tinkering could not tame the core. It grew unstable and scorched the battlefield. What kind of hero are you? A hero who goes down in a blaze of glory. Now we're going to go back. We're going to continue.
Bad choices. But now, when the real battle came, he wouldn't make those choices. He wouldn't make the same mistake twice. The book's pages began to flip backwards, towards the beginning. And he realized that his adventure was just beginning. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Skyripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Skyripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. On the other hand, his old friend Lupino needed rescuing. Lupino was no game changer, but could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
All right, guys, I'm going to do one thing here, one thing only. Half-ass, you're the only one around. Please stick around. I just need you for, 30 minutes, tops. What I'm going to do right now, so all these different things are the paths I have not discovered yet. You'll also notice that now because we infiltrated the Imperial base. We know that they're looking for shit in the desert, so we can also go to the desert. What I'm going to do here to make it interesting, I'm going to do the exact same choice I have done in the past, and then I'm going to let you guys kind of decide
Lupino.
from there what happens.
Apparently,
you'll
the
see
man
how much it
rabbit
impacts
sold a
the story.
Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lupino always wiggled out of trouble given time, but he was out of time. The Ravens had figured out that Lupino was a rebel spy. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse.
All right, so back to where we started the last adventure.
Lupino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen a winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the Ravens?
Now you'll notice that the combat's getting a little more hectic. Obviously, the old enemies they have now reintroduced.
Oh, he really wasn't making a dent in those shields.
Ah. There we go. I meant
The
to do
ravens
that
had
earlier.
taken the town. Renato had seen villages emptied like this. All the people taken away to be sacrificed in the Emperor's secret rituals. Renato hoped the people were just hiding.
Oh, you ran away there, half-ass. Don't do that. Hey, look at that. Benches even give you ore. Nice. Okay. So you'll see the combat definitely ramps up. And now I actually have the fire sword that any type of fire doors that I come across, I will now be able to open.
Think of all the artisans he was creating employment for. Truly, he was a job creator.
I love, it sounds like the soundtrack for Conan, what's his name? I know his name. I just posted it the other day.
Renato looked around the empty village and reflected. The Sky Ripper had turned out to be far too dangerous to be used. Time to turn to what he knew best.
See, now he's, that's a little bit of metagaming. They're kind of telling you basically what happened there in his past. That the Sky Ripper we know is dangerous. The core is dangerous, at least. All right, look at this. We are full health, and we're just going to look for ore and stuff, which is nice. I love the exploration. Energy's always good. Now, I wonder, if I go to the sword, oh, I can cause a rain down of fire. So, important to keep my energy up at full peak. Thank you very much. And half-ass, I will be checking out the other game that these guys are going to be making, man. Absolutely. Look at this. Look at the graphical awesomeness of this game. It is so pretty to look at.
Renato had heard stories of a dungeon where chests were filled with potions and weapons. Fairy tales.
There is an altar down there. I want to, I'm going to run around the far away here, see if there's anything hidden down here. We've got a workbench. Oh, there's a fire door. Well, guess what, guys? We can go through that fire door with the fire sword.
Hey! Hey! I'm a firefox, thought Renato.
Haha, that's my browser. Ah. Oh, even better. You found a gem. Elemental resistance. Sounds good to me. Gems are rare items that boost your capabilities. Find a workbench. Well, we're going to have to definitely do that.
Hey! Hey, a workbench! He could try out his new bling.
Gem socketing. This is a gem socketing menu. Here you can equip powerful gems that will augment both your offensive and defensive capabilities. Your gauntlet has 3 sockets in which you can put gems. I'm going to select a gem. Each gem has 3 levels, and its effect increases with each level. Picking up a gem you already have will automatically upgrade that gem's level, which is nice. You can find gems in the chest scattered throughout Boreas, if you're lucky enough. Increases resistance to spell damage by 20%. Thank you very much. Oh, already equipped. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you very much. That will stop us from getting hurt from the spell casters.
Renato felt like he was ready to learn new things. Thank goodness he didn't have to go to school for that.
No shit. All right, so now we are, because we've opened up a truth, it has opened up the second tier. There's 4 truths that you have to learn, so the more you progress through the story, the better things get. Attack reflexes. Slow down time after a successful attack until your next action. Tactical mode of combat like a true master. That sounds fun. I'm going to go for that.
It's getting better and better.
And I'm going to increase my maximum health. Oh, I can put 2... Oh, I didn't know that. And I can run faster. This is great. I think I'm going to put in points to the combat, though. There we go. Nice. I thought I had to spend 2 points on those. 2 or 3, but apparently not. I'm going to keep running this way here. I'll have to jump down the hole, eh? Well, I'm pretty sure I have explored every little nook and cranny here. Now, again, there's no map, so... Wow, you know what? I don't think I've ever found this before.
Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Where had the mad rabbit got to?
Where have you got to, Lupino?
Hey! I got this friend who's a swan. Could he join up? He dyes his feathers.
Alright, ever slowly but surely we are increasing our energy, but not enough. Hey, buddy.
Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lupino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lupino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, we see this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer, and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
I was saying, guys, that right here it looks like we've got the 20 main stories right here, and down along this side here is probably alternative endings, and this is probably the one true ending. I can't, sorry, my controller's fucking up right there. So anyways, give me a choice, guys, what you want to do. Are we gonna this time pay a call on Zenobia and kidnap her, or are we gonna go back and grab the Eye of Power once again? I'm going to let you guys decide. I don't care either way. Obviously, something with a check exclamation mark we have not explored before in the past. I think I'm going to grab the core this time. No responses.
To make the Sky Ripper, the Transcendent Emperor had wrapped an armature around the eye of a god. Reynardo had already let that armature slip away to save Lupino's life. But even its core, the eye torn from a god, surely they could fashion a great weapon from that.
The core of the Sky Ripper? Lupino's excited. That's an actual thing that we could just go and get. You've been busy.
He sure had. Reynardo told him all the things he'd been up to. Soon they got to talking about old times, about wages they'd won and lost, and scrapes they'd barely got out of. It was good to be back with his friend.
Sorry,
True,
brother.
The core
Next
was
time.
capable of terrible,
Next
uncontrollable destruction. But this time, he was sure it would work great.
This time he's sure. See, so it's a little metagamey where it's like, you know, I remember I picked this up last time and I'm going to die.
Thought Reynardo. He was thrilled to be back with his old war buddy. He'd missed the mad rabbit.
But something was not quite right.
Whoa. Don't want to go that way. Can't get in there.
Renato wondered if his future self had commissioned these poles.
Oh, my hit points went up. Nice. Perfect score. I'm liking it. Give me that sweet, sweet XP. And let's get ourselves healed up to full, or almost. All right, let's get that core, guys. Instead, half-ass, sorry, you're a little late.
Something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time. Firewalls only let you through if they think you're hot enough.
Nice. New treasure, folks. New treasure.
You almost never saw wild gogglers together like this. The toads had to train them not to peck each other to death. So these had to be Imperial gogglers. That meant ravens were up ahead. There was a sign. Take the goat across first.
That's a joke. I missed that. Ah, damn it. I'm getting beat the fuck up here. Just as I'm about to throw it, and I get hit. All right, let's go.
He was in a
Perfect, for
swirl
sure.
of newly remembered knowledge. He needed to focus.
All right, that is worth the exploration. Look at that big ass chest. All right, big cubes. Thank you very much. Tack speed goes up. Oh, gem. I like it. So we actually have to, I think, can we check? I don't know if we can check our stats. Anything else here? I'd love to get a little bit of a boost in energy and or health.
Renato felt wrong all over. He could feel an almost palpable sickness in the air. And if the land could have tumors, they would look like these monstrous crystals. The forest was quieter than it had been. There were insects, but few birds, if you didn't count the ravens. Renato smelled sick animals and dying ones. No healthy ones. And getting a bad feeling about this, Renato thought. Maybe Lapina was right. Maybe they should have kidnapped Zenobia instead of coming here.
Fuck!
One small step for a fox, he thought.
size of that chest there, guys. Oh, I'll definitely take that. Thank you very much. All right, that was worth dying once.
There was blood on this one, so it hadn't saved its owner.
Oh, great. Nice. Back to the forest sword, aka the hero sword.
Of course there was a puzzle. You couldn't expect the Transcendent Emperor to bury a god's eye in a leather sack where anyone could pick it up.
One other point, eh? So I have to fulfill all 3 of these before I can get to the second tier. Or I can buy this right off the bat, shield hooking. Hooking a shield-wielding enemy will rip the shield. Oh,
That
thank
come
you.
in handy in a pinch.
Can I borrow that?
Oh man, that's close. Too close for comfort. Down to 22 health. Yeah, that room. There's a couple rooms here that you'd certainly, you know they're going to be tough battles. So it is not procedurally generated, but again, the story I think makes up for the fact that it is not that way to begin with. All right, so we are going to pick up the core again, guys. I'm going to allow you guys to
As he held
select
the
our
radiant
next
icosahedron,
option.
Renato felt queasy, like dozens of tiny worms were nibbling his insides. It wasn't healthy to be so close to the eye of a god. How could he use it? He could take it to the observatory. The scientists there could tell him how to harness its ancient power. But honestly, Renato ached to get away from it. He brought the core back with him to the Farfarer. But honestly, Renato ached to be rid of it.
Tell you what, said Lupino. I'll take it to the observatory. You attack the Imperial outpost.
The Imperial outpost was a vital communications node. Taking it could shatter the Empire's ability to coordinate. And it would be full of secret plans and maps and maybe even rebel prisoners. It was a good target for a hero like Renato. But what if Lupino lost the core to the Empire? That could be a good thing.
Now there's a red icon there. I'm not sure what that
Renato
is.
ready to take that risk? Maybe it was better if he brought the core to the scientists himself.
All right, guys, I will let you decide. I'm going to go back and make myself a drink, and you let me know which route we're going to take. All right, so we are going to escort the core to the scientists ourselves.
Lapino, touchy rabbit. Renato knew
rabbit.
that. You're brave, I know, Renato said. But this is what I was hired to do.
At least let me run ahead and warn the scientists you're coming.
So, Lapino was intent on being a hero, just like him. War made sensible men crazy for glory, and Lapino had never been sensible. But what was the harm? Lapino might well trip over a hornet's nest of ravens, but that was better than ravens lying in ambush, wasn't it? They finished the trip to the Nexus in silence. Renato had no sooner rescued his friend than he was putting him back in danger. All right, he finally said as they landed. Go.
I love it. I love it. And you know that the next bunch of missions that you take on are absolutely different from the ones you have done previously. It's a brilliant little concept. Simple,
As Renato watched Lapino vanish on the horizon,
complex.
he could feel nausea building in him. He felt ill. Could his knees really be aching this much? But how could he have handed the core off to Lapino? That was a recipe for disaster.
All right, is it going to make me sick? Yes. It is. It's reducing my health, probably down to 30 again, just like it did in the last battle that we played.
Hey, I hear black is the new dead.
So you can hold down your square button to block as well, like the parry, and you can actually be holding it down as long as you're facing the direction of the incoming attack. You can parry it, which is kind of cool.
Renato had always wanted a flying carpet. This was more like a flying tabletop, but it would do.
Oh, look at that door.
If they didn't want their things broken, they really ought to make them stronger.
Take that guy out first.
Renato felt bad for littering, but these islands were short on trash cans.
As I throw the guy off the ledge, I feel bad for littering. It's awesome. Oh, I see. I'm going back the wrong way. Now I can spend all this energy here to get me up.
Renato felt worse. All his joints were aching now. He'd been through beatings that felt better than this. So the core had a kind of poison that could harm you without even touching you. That's new. Well, it had power. The rebellion needed something with power. And how was this any worse than a sword wound? Well, a death by sword was sudden and fair. This was just squalid. A piecemeal death, like old age.
Like old age. Oh man. Alright, I'm bleeding out energy here. Come on, let's go, guys.
The Imperial fleet was closing in on the rebels. And what had Reynardo accomplished? He'd rescued Lupino, but ignored his plan. Now he was dying of the core's poison.
Alright, attack speed and physical resistance. Thank you very much. Our gauntlet is fully charged. I'm gonna use a little bit of energy there, not much.
Energy steers.
Whoa.
Easy to dodge, but boy do they sting if you didn't pay attention.
Bloody wizards. Oh, come on, what?
There were still so many games to play, Reynardo thought as he died.
No shit. What? How did I die there? Oh no. Whoa, what's this guy?
Some people were just liable to explode if you upset them.
I threw that guy, man. Come on.
Last, they had to bury him in a bucket. Actually, several buckets.
Oh! No, that's not what happened. Not the way I remember the story.
No one could beat Reynardo at hot potato. Reynardo wondered if he could learn to cook this way. Probably not.
Where to go? Not that way, I think. Yeah, I'm still losing health. Not good. That background is gorgeous. All right, scientists, are you here?
The observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists everywhere. Reynardo found the mad rabbit cowering under a desk. The ravens, they must have known we were coming, said Lupino. How did you... See, I was doing a card trick with my lucky deck, and I kind of bobbled the cards, so I went under the desk to gather them up, and boom! I guess we'll have to take the car straight to the secret base. The secret rebel base. Yes. They had engineers there. But wait. Calaveras, the sage in the mountains. Maybe he would know what to do with the naked core.
The scientists on the Nexus were all dead, and with them gone, so was the plan to turn the core into a super weapon. But there was one more scientist. Calaveras was the expert of the Sky Ripper, but did he have the necessary equipment alone out there in the mountains? Or we could also do to the secret base. Renato could still bring the core to the rebel base. The engineers there could tinker something, hopefully before he dies from the core's poisoning. Now, considering we have not seen either of these two, I think I'm going to run to the High Sage. Unless Half-Ass, if you're around, if you can give me a response, I would love to hear it. And we will go your route.
Was killing him. He needed help. The sage, Calaveras, had given him the maps to find the armature and the core. If anyone knew the true name of the Transcendent Emperor, if anyone knew how to assemble the Sky Ripper, Calaveras did. If anyone could heal Reynardo and render the core safe, at least to its bearer, surely it was he.
Oh, that'd be nice. Now we get the core ripper and full complement of health. Thank you very much.
The base of the mountain was the only safe place for a landing. He would have to continue on foot, muscles aching. Calaveras was a scholar, not a doctor.
Take a chance on me.
Could he really save Reynardo from the poison radiating from the lost god's eye he was so recklessly carrying? Reynardo felt a little better.
I've never heard that before. Nice. I'll take it. Now, sorry guys if I miss your messages. You see how it kind of blends in with the update there in the top right corner. So does the PlayStation. So if you guys send me a message, just give me a minute. Get over here! Oh, we'll fucking go over here. Ow, 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 ow. Ow!
I should have done a barrel roll, he thought, as he died.
Oh, shit. You're gonna hear all the one-liner depth fucking things here, but it's not much. I mean, I'm not that much of a noob, until that happens. Alright, imperfect, but let's face it, guys, these are getting a lot harder here. We got plus 10 energy, that's very nice. We can turn that back into health.
This was not a fun way to die.
No shit.
Even if he survived. No one would write ballads about the fox whose knees ached forever, would they? Not unless he paid for it. He hated paying for publicity.
That's fucking funny, man. I almost spat my drink out. No one's gonna. Fuck yeah. No shit, right? That guy, that's like when he's dead. Fucking. Fuck me.
Is that your shield?
Come on, come on, come on. I got enough shit for all of you. Oh, so yeah, I can actually pause time here. Perfect. Perfect score. I'm not going to go there yet, though. We're going to go run down here. No one's going to pay for somebody who can't walk on their old knees or something. That's fucking funny. All right, let's go see what this door opens up here. Again, it also, not only is there 20 different endings, but there's also a multitude of different reasons why you have to come back and keep exploring
the
the same
perfect
levels.
place for a tic-tac-toe board.
Man, it's funny. Ow. Ow, itchies. Thank you. I will take it all, guys. Wind essence is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ow.
It was chilling walking through the living mountains. There was always noise up ahead. Insects, birds, the croak and flutter of ravens arranging ambushes. But close by, there was only the breeze and the trickle of melting snow. As if every living thing was holding its breath for his poisonous burden to move on.
And you can hear, like, while he was talking, this fucking lonely fucking eagle in the distance. It's awesome. I don't know, the sound guy, I'd have to say, I gotta talk to somebody like that. Like, Kirill Pravosky was probably the last one from Divine Divinity that I was in contact with back in the day, man. That guy was an
Renado's
awesome
paws
dude.
were getting numb. Calaveras really didn't want company, did he?
We are on a totally different story now. Need a little bit more energy here. That'd be nice. I don't necessarily need the hit points. I need the energy, though. Because as we know, we're carrying the core, and it is draining our health back to 30. We're 1/3 the man we used to be. Ah, ooh. I see what's going to happen. Boom, 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 boom. All right, there we go.
Time was running out for the rebellion. They might already be fighting the Imperial fleet. Everything hinged on Calaveras' ability to turn an exiled god's eye into something deadly.
Neat. What a cool story. We know what the Sky Ripper alone does on its own. 1 point, hey? What are we going to do here? Stats? Maybe we'll run faster sounds good.
The core, splendid.
Croaked Calaveras.
Where's the armature?
Right, I was kind of hoping you wouldn't need it.
No, I don't. It's just a professional interest. We've got much better prismatics than the old TE ever did.
So Calaveras was an arcane engineer. He fussed at the core all day. He wrapped it with silver chains, and in front of it, he placed a huge round ruby so that it looked like a monstrous floating eye. Ah, so, what is it?
Yeah, I call it the Oculum. It's my very first death ray.
And it won't poison me?
Oh, no, it's completely safe now.
Anything I should watch out for?
Yeah, try to avoid pointing at any mirrors.
As he loaded the oculum onto the Farfarer, Bernardo was a little concerned about Calaveras. People who were utterly sure of themselves, he had found, were either experts or horribly wrong.
Dunning-Kruger effect,
Or
guys.
both. But Renato only needed to fire the oculum once. He only needed to destroy one ship, the Emperor's ship, and the war was over.
Renato plunged into the Imperial fleet. He felt the oculum humming. He no longer felt sick. This was going to be fun. Or at least, it was going to be over.
All right, so it is the exact same type of ending that we are going to that we had experienced. Again, we're going to do it again, but we ended up meeting the scientist.
Renato resisted the temptation to fire the oculum until the time came. He could sense its arcane energies yearning to escape the sage's wrappings. But it wasn't eating him alive. So that was a plus. He felt good about himself. He'd saved a friend, he'd helped the rebels, he'd relied on himself, but he'd listened to others. He felt like the right sort of hero. Wise, yet decisive. Calaveras had been so sure it would work. Maybe he could fire it just a few times. No harm in that, right? But only when he absolutely needed to. He wasn't that good. Yet.
Out of juice. Apparently, using the dash ability uses up energy, so I definitely.
Renato hoped his mother wasn't watching.
All right, the final battle is coming, guys, and this is how the game plays out over and over and over again. So this is your roguelite adventure, and it's good. It is good. It's a very awesome story. I love the back look at the animation. I mean, oh. Mind-blowing. Now, you're going to get better and better the more you play this, right? Obviously.
That is how we do it, said Renato to himself.
To no one in particular. I think I've said that myself a few times, or to others too. Is that passive aggressive? It's not passive aggressive. It's rhetorical. That's what it is. Fuck off! Oh. Yeah, that, yeah, imperfect for sure. I think
Renato's arm was getting tired.
The
core was no longer eating at him, but he still felt weak. His stamina was shot. But he had the oculum. When the ravens swarmed him, it would sometimes fire its death ray. It seemed to be warming up too, firing more and more often. Maybe he should let it cool off. He decided to stop using it entirely.
What? Not yet.
He'd once met a pirate captain who used hooks to get around his ship. What was his name again?
Oh, shit. Captain Hook, anyone? That's awesome. The fucking humor, man. It's like, no wonder it's a British voice actor, man. I love fucking British comedy. It is some of the funniest stuff, I tell ya. Alright, I'm going to save that energy for the fire sword. Actually, I got the ice sword. Let's see what happens here. It is. It actually it was on the PlayStation freebies at one point in time, and one day I just kind of I'm like I gotta give this a try.
There was an inscription on the platform: Balaleka lessons with an address.
And I went into this absolutely cold. I had no idea what this game was about, and by the time I had finished about 4 or 5 hours, I was like, this is actually really cool. The first little bit, I was kind of confused. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. This is weird. And then I see exactly how the game progresses, and I'm like, this is awesome. So here's the Emperor's ship. Check the size of it out, eh? You get a good scale, and now we're still going to go upwards even more. And here goes, guys, the end of Chapter 4 on a little bit of a different playthrough than what we did the first time. I think we made one extra choice. And that will be one of the 20 different endings that... Alright, these guys buff and heal. We know what to do with these dudes. Oh, shit. I thought I had at least another hit on me. I was just about to heal. Damn. I hate when I slow the story down there. Let's pump ourselves right up to the max, and we're ready for this battle with the flame sword. I'm sure crows don't like flames. Look at the size of the battleship in the background, guys. It's fucking awesome. There we go. Practice makes perfect. All right, that's it. That is the end of this
Odd.
chapter.
The oculum was still hot to the touch. You almost thought it was getting even hotter. Well, that was ridiculous, of course.
Anyway, he'd only to fire it one more time, and then he could chuck the whole contraption into the abyss. And the Emperor's ship was now in range. Reynardo squinted. He could make out the line of ravens protecting the ship. Zenobia in front, conjuring. And on the deck, yes, that was his Imperial Majesty, pacing in his golden armor. Reynardo lined up his shot and fired. Caught in the beam, the ship burst into flames. The ravens and Zenobia exploded. The Emperor, too, exploded.
Nice.
Reynardo waited for the beam to stop. But it only got brighter, and the oculum hotter. Frantic, Reynardo pulled the oculum towards the abyss. The ruby burst into flames. The shiny metal casing glowed, then melted. That was good. Now the core could cool off, right? Reynardo ran. The blast incinerated him instantly, along with both fleets. The shockwave could be felt across all Erda. That winter, with neither Empire nor rebels to rule them, the islands slid into banditry, and so began the Second Age of Darkness. Reynardo stared at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it? Had he really died? It felt so real, not like a dream at all. And he'd lost again. Oh, he hated that. But he had made different choices. And he'd lost in a different way. It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably. Thanks a bunch, book, he thought. But
Nice.
these were destinies that he did not have to fulfill.
And he hadn't learned anything new this time. He'd done the same thing twice, yet expected a different outcome.
Which is exactly the point of this game, guys. So let's read the synopsis of this story. The Sky Ripper was a legendary weapon that could banish the gods themselves. It was split in two pieces, a core and its armature. Ronaldo had lost the armature to save a friend, but he had the core, a naked core pulsating with energy, bleeding an unhealthy poison, slowly killing anyone who would carry it. So began a race against time to turn the core into a weapon. The road was fraught with bad luck, and Ronaldo was forced to visit a hermit, a retired scholar who had very little chance to save the day. But the scholar knew exactly what to do, and just like that, Ronaldo had a super weapon. But as rebels and Empire fought in the final battle, a giant blast incinerated the entire battlefield, and the center of the blast, Ronaldo and his super weapon. Oops. All right, so that, guys, is Stories Path of Destinies in a nutshell. That is just the beginning, and as you can see, you have very many paths to follow. You can turn off the help where it guides you. It kind of says, hey, you know, you haven't done this path before. Do you want to go this path? You can turn those off if you really want a hardcore adventure, but I really strongly recommend this game. Great sound, great narration, great comedy, great story writing, great gameplay. Definitely, as Half-Ass said, this is something that you should grab, and it's probably dirt cheap. All right, guys, I'm ShatteredCiv. I hope you guys have a good beginning ramp up to the weekend. I'm going to do another new indie game playthrough coming right up, and I want to thank you guys for joining me. All right, guys, take care, stay safe, and have a good night. See you on the flip side.